Alright, so I got my new servo, the D845WP waterproof servo by Hitec, and I'm putting it on this symmetrical steering, and it doesn't fit. It is too big to go through the rectangular hole. So I'm going to have to sand off some of this edge on this side and this side. Maybe I'll get a file out and we'll make it so there's clearance so we can fit this Hitec in there. So she's just a little bit too big. Now I had a stock Losi S900S, and it fits in there very loosely. But with this larger, yeah, she's a tight squeeze. So, well, at least it fits in a long way, so I won't have to file that way. Just along these longer edges here, I'll have to get the file out. So there's my first dilemma so far, using the Hitec D845 waterproof servo. It just is not going to fit inside this symmetrical steering unit. Alright, so I'm going to work on this, and I'll get back to you guys. So what I'm doing, I'm working the file on this, back and forth, just skimming down this edge enough, and now my servo will fit in there. Not quite exact yet. Oh, gotta flip it around here. It's just starting to, oh, there it goes. There we go. So it fits in now. Whoop, the blue plastic is wider than the rest of it here, so it's catching. So I'll have to do just a little bit more, and then we'll have this servo fitting in there very nicely. And it's in upside down anyways, I gotta flip it around. It actually goes in the other way. So it's pointing up. Yeah, it catches right there. I can feel it sticking out. But there also is some spacers that comes with this. So these, oh, I won't have to do anything. So these spacers bring it down just a little bit. So it won't, I'm all done then. Cool. Alright. Okay, I have the servo installed here. It's kind of just, I have it in place. It's going to be pretty cool for the steering. Pretty quick with this D845. You can hear the power. So, and then we flip it over here. We got the throttle, and this Hitec HT-7950TH is really fast. Look how fast it is. Woo-wee. Okay, so I'm waiting on my battery. I'm using my my Losi battery at the moment and my Vecta battery for this, just to test it out. Let's see if I say I lose power on my remote. Okay, good. That's working. It's blinking now. No good. Turn the power back on. Okay. So anyway, I think I'm gonna like this steering. So we got her squared away so far. All right. So waiting on a battery, and I don't want to install this yet because I have some other things I want to do. So I'm going to get this video all together with one shot for everybody so they can see what's going down. So I've been trying to find a LiPo battery for my BAJA 5SC, and I did find one, and that's by maxamp.com. Sells a small LiPo battery with 3600 milliamps. Now when you get your battery, you'll get it with 3 plugs. One's for your balance, one's for your receiver, and one is by choice. When you're on the website, you choose what plug you want. There's different choices. I chose the Tamiya female plug because that's what's stock on my battery case. And that comes stock. And it's also stock on your new symmetrical steering setup, is the Tamiya female. So you can slide that right in there for charging. And then you'll have to run an external plug for your balance somewhere, because I have an exhaust system that goes over top this. So it's not going to be very easy for me to remove my battery to charge it. But I'm going to show you how to fit this battery into the stock unit, and it only can go in one way. You got to kind of push it down a little bit. So if you're using this battery in your stock setup, and you have to do one thing on the bottom of your cover, there's this little nub that holds the stock battery in. you have to just cut this little nub off, because that's going to be right here where this battery is. So you're going to need the clearance right there. So once you put your battery in there, it'll touch this too when you put this on. But if you want, you can put this in your charging port, and then you can run an external plug outside for your balance. So I'll show you how to put this on here on your stock one, and there is your LiPo battery, and it's a tight squeeze. See, I can push it down a little bit still because there's some foam in there. So there you have it. You got the LiPo battery inside your case, on your stock case. Okay, so let's pull it back out, then I'll show you how to put it in your new Symmetrical, because I'm not using the stock one. We'll set that aside. We'll slide it over. And here's your, and this also fits in your Symmetrical steering if you want to use your original battery. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to convert all mine to 7.4, so I got 7.4 on the steering and then I have 7.4 on the throttle and brake. So your new Symmetrical battery, your LiPo battery will go in at an angle. And I'm going to turn it sideways here so you can see. There's all sorts of gaps in the side here. You're going to have to foam it up to keep it from bouncing back and forth. And there's room to run your wire. So this servo wire here is going to run through here, across the top, and then down the side over to this other compartment where you have room for your receiver and your kill switch. So anyway, that's how it's going to fit. So let's push the wires in. I'll show you with the cover on. Cover goes on no problem. Got plenty of room in there. And I also have it for the Tamiya female. So I'll have my Tamiya female here, then I'll have an external plug for my balancing. So it does stick up just a little bit, but it fits in there. It's going to work perfect with 3,600 milliamps for your steering and your throttle, and you're going to have a LiPo battery. So there's a couple people that asked me about this, and I told them I ordered a battery, and they said, well, they couldn't find a battery to fit. Well, this is the one to get right here. So go to your www.maxamps.com, and you can get your LiPo battery. Alright, so I'm starting to fit my stuff in here. This is where I've located my receiver and my kill switch. So my battery is going to go underneath this stuff here, and then go at an angle. Let's see if I can get in here real quick here. There we go. That's exactly where the battery is going to be, right there, like that, at a slight angle. So when you see here, there's just this little tiny hump there. But the cover goes on without an issue. Because you'll see the cover has a slight hump there, and it doesn't affect it any. But I'm looking at my antenna, so I got my antenna running up through here, and I'm real disappointed on the hole. This is the straw that they give you. They actually give you a straw in the kit. Let's slide it on here so you can see. So I have the straw, so I slide it in the hole. Now it's down all the way. Look how wide. I mean, it's not even tight in the hole. So either you have to glue it or epoxy or something in there, because this thing is not going to stay in there. It actually falls. You guys can't see it real well, but it falls in the hole. I'm not pushing on it. It's just sliding, and it's real wobbly. See how wobbly it is? So that's one thing I'm disappointed in it, is the straw here. So I'm going to get some epoxy, I guess, and we'll epoxy that up so that's not all loose in there. But other than that, everything else is going good so far. I'm wiring everything in. So we'll see what comes up. Alright, so I've done a few more things tonight. I got the plastic piece epoxied in. I have my balance plugged in here, and it runs to the outside. See, what I have is a plug here. This plug goes to my on-off, and this will go to my balance for my battery. And there's another cord that goes here for charging. Let's see if I could show you real quick what I have. That way you guys understand. On the top of my cage, I have my charge port, and this is my on-off switch. I just reach my finger underneath, and it's on-off here, and it'll plug in. So now I'll have my balancing cord follow this one up to the top. And then I have this cord already made that plugs into the box to charge the battery. So when I charge my battery, I'll plug in here. Yeah, I got this off of one of the Razor electric carts. So I'm using this as my charger cord. And then I'll have another port here for my balancing. And that'll plug right into here. So I have this plug here for my on-off, and then I'll have a balancing cord there. So that's how I'm doing mine. You know, you can, because my exhaust, I have the Dominator exhaust, and it goes over top here. So I'm going to have a heck of a time getting in there to get my battery out. So that's what I'm up to. I'm going to button this up. It's really tight. Really tight. I'll tell you. I mean, just the cord for the emergency stop. It comes through the back. As you can see, it's packed in there, but it can be done. So I'll get back with you. All right, so I found some of this nice purple wire wrap here. This is going to work out perfect because I'm going to end up tie wrapping this here. Then I'll be plugging in my on-off switch and my balance cord, and then the one coming off the roll cage will come down and plug in down there. Now you can see why I couldn't. It's not very easy to get my battery out. Once I get the roll cage on, get the exhaust in, it's a real tight fit. So I won't be able to pull my battery out, especially when it's hot. But the exhaust will be plenty far away. You can see there's 2.5, 3 inches away. It's not going to heat up that box or anything. So slowly coming together. Alright, I think I got everything all figured out here. I have the symmetrical steering all hooked in. Now the one thing about the symmetrical steering I notice, the geometry of the steering is off if you have it turned too sharp. It's not quite right, but it's still. So we got the throttle all working and the brake. And I have my battery recharge right here. My on-off switch is right under here. In fact, I can click it off. And then I have my balance is going to be right here. So whenever I charge, I'll just hook my balance up right there. And then I got my charge here. So this is going to work out good. So anyway, I got it all together. Now I got to wait till the yard is like a soupy mess. So I'm going to have to wait to try it out, make sure everything's going to work all right. But she's all back together, and it's ready to go. I'm excited. I like it. Oh, I got to tighten my clamp. I just remembered. Hey, you see, running the camera helps. So I'll tighten that clamp up, and then I'll be all done. All right. Bye.